Hello, welcome to the Info Pit. I'm here with my co-host, Absolute.
Hi, my name's Absolute. I'm a student, or in between being a student from high school to college right now, and a streamer by night.
And I'm your host, Fluffyexe. I'm a full-time tech engineering student and House General Saber. And this week, I'm really scuffed, guys. Sorry.
You
My internet's
notice
not
over
doing
there.
too hot. Yeah, as you can probably notice, this picture isn't moving, and also I need to
Whoa,
put on
really?
Twitter
It's a
just to see
picture
the
that doesn't
picture
move?
yeah, there we go. The technical
Oh,
difficulties.
Lord.
Alright.
Okay, so
Yeah, so my voice is still here, and it's probably still gonna bot out quite a bit, and I apologize for that. There's only so much I can do about that right now. My internet's just not doing well at all. Seems
is,
to be okay right now, stabilizing at least for voice.
You want to talk about why that is? We can start off stupid stories like this. Like that's great. You know what? Let me go ahead and change the title just for you, bud. just for you. Story time. We're already in story time, boys.
It's not so much of a stupid story as a learning moment, okay?
I don't know.
Give me a little bit.
I don't know. I
Alright,
feel like
so
I can qualify. I can't look at him, chat, so I'm gonna be looking at you. Sorry.
I won't say my internet provider's name and everything, because that would be bad to call them out on stream as much as I want to. Basically, I paid my bill the day it was due and everything. Usually pay it like a week in advance just because I can. I like to just be
solid flex, but okay.
Well, no, it's not expensive. I don't have great internet. You know this.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Pretty funny.
Yeah, it's not like it's not expensive. Internet's like fucking $35 a month. It's not expensive at all. The thing is, where I live, I can't really get better without jumping to like 100 or 150 a month. So that's a bit of a price jump for a college student.
Yeah, it's probably Trump anyone if we're being honest. But yeah, they suck right now. They were jerks, and currently we no longer have a guy. He might even hop out at DS. We don't know, but that's part of the fun because we have no idea what's gonna happen.
That's okay. Yeah, pretty much. I paid my bill that night, and then the next day, like my internet was like not on, and I'm like, what's going on? I paid this.
Okay.
I called them when I was at work that day, and it takes 2 to 3 business days for the payment to actually go through. They don't tell you this when you're paying your bill, okay? They tell you just pay it on time, you're good to go. No, it takes 2 to 3 business days to go through. This was on a Friday that I called them. That Friday was yesterday.
I broke the dock start. Great.
So I called them and everything, and I said,
no.
It's gone through. I can give you the confirmation number. And yeah.
One more thing went wrong.
What happened?
Just now, chat. I was trying to copy something over to the docs document, and it copied over wrong, and we lost our doc document just now.
No,
that we use for our shows, articles of the week, and everything for news. For this one, exit page. So chat, if you guys have ever heard of Murphy's Law, it's a great law, by the way. If you guys don't know what it is, what do you need? Control Z.
It's working for me. It's working.
Oh no, it's already refixed itself. Yeah, thanks, Dad. My dad's here today. He was apparently watching. The worst technical week of my life.
And then also go to file.
No, it's fixed. It's fixed again. I just had to find it.
It never happens in general. I've had to do a document.
Oh no, you can go to version history, but the phase itself was frozen due to the interaction not working.
Okay.
But yeah, no context to this yet, but our show was almost ruined by Twilight. That's where we're starting this week, and I love it. It's so interesting to be here. But Murphy's Law, if anyone does not know, is that anything can go wrong will go wrong. And man, was that today in a nutshell. It's great. Today has just been a great day. I'm loving the new interactions I'm having with literally everything because everything's messing up. So I'm learning a bunch of new things. So that's very good. Alright, though, let's start off with the first stupid story of the week.
How does everybody like my technical difficulties picture?
I had backup photos just in case we didn't want me to use those, and we can talk about them later in the info box.
I really didn't want him to use those backup because they're yeah.
Don't worry, chat. I'll show them off to you later.
Thank you. Yeah, he can show me off technically later.
Would you not?
Alright, there you go. That's our first article.
Alright, but I already stared at bud. I can see you now. Oh, yep, that is my father. Alright. So this title I so lovingly called "This Makes Snakes on a Plane Look Tame." Because, oh my lord, is this one a doozy. Alright, so, Coral Springs
That's
man
terrifying.
bitten by python lurking in the toilet. That's right, the toilet. A python bit by a Coral Springs resident after he discovered it in his bathroom early Sunday morning. According to Officer Chris Swinson, the Coral Springs Humane Unit was called around 4 a.m. to 2651 Riverside Drive after a resident attempted to remove a python that was either trying to exit or enter his toilet around 4 a.m. The snake, measuring 3 feet long, was later identified as a non-venomous ball python and was caught and taken to a reptile center. I don't think I need to go much further to realize.
No.
Ah!
Okay. So this
No.
that has literally been an irrational fear of mine since I was a little kid. Okay.
Did you ever go to summer camp? Did you ever go to
Yes.
summer camp? Okay.
Yes.
Here's what summer camp was like. Every single time I went down there, there was always at least one scorpion in the bathroom. Doesn't matter what day it was. Doesn't matter when we went to that
but
summer
you
camp.
live,
I'm not gonna say the name of
you
the summer
know.
camp. Oklahoma. Yeah. But
Yeah.
there was one time where there was a snake in the female dorms while at the camp. And from that day forward, I've always thought, man, that's the one situation I ever want to avoid, is actually having a snake in the toilet. Because that sounds horrible. Because imagine
Yeah, it
this.
does, because, like,
you
what are you
you
gonna
don't even
do?
need to sit down for it to be threatening. I'm just saying,
No.
you don't.
And then if you do, then you're done.
Is there anyone who wasn't afraid of that? I don't know if it's necessarily I'm afraid of it, it's that I have a phobia of it. And I feel like that's the issue. Because it's okay to be afraid of it, because that's like being afraid of being hurt, right?
Yeah.
But,
no,
like,
I have an
Actively
irrational
worrying
phobia.
on it.
Yes, I have an irrational phobia of like snake in the toilet.
Snake in the
That
toilet.
sounds really weird. Really weird. But I have
Fluffy
such
dreams
an
of snakes in a
irrational-
toilet. Everyone spread that around. If you can, thank you. Smile.
Oh, by the way, I cannot use the EMT, the event management tool, for like another couple minutes since I just hosted the other event and my internet was slow to close the event. So I've got 8 minutes, guys, until I
Yogsy.
can like actually start the event and everything.
I know you're here.
I
Peace.
apologize.
So we got a
But,
little
like,
bit.
It'll only be a couple minutes. Promise. 8 minutes and
I
then I can host
promise.
another
Until
one.
then, just RSVP. All right.
Hey,
So next up, we have. Oh lord. Sorry, snakes. I'm imagining the snakes. I found that article. I'm like, I have to share this because this is hilarious and
but
terrifying.
it's terrifying.
But
Yeah,
it's
exactly. Like,
terrifying.
That's horrifying.
What's up, Twiggy? But anyways, we're gonna go to a slightly less horrifying, well, depending on how you look at it, a slightly less scary article for this one. This is No More Old Town Roads. New Hampshire Police Department wants people to stop bringing their horses down Old Town Road. You heard that right. Rapper Lil Nas X's hit song Old Town Road is bringing an influx of people to the real Old Town Road in New Hampshire. The popularity of the song has aspiring rappers searching out for the road near Manchester to shoot their music videos. The Marlborough Police Department sent out a message on Facebook Sunday. Please stop taking your horses down to our Old Town Road. This quiet neighborhood off Troy Road is not a suitable filming location for your amateur rap videos. Doesn't even want to give him credit to call him good. For our older followers, please disregard this pop culture reference and continue your equestrian activities as usual. Because that's right. Because apparently people weren't smart enough to realize, man, maybe it was a joke the first time. Leave it. Please.
Yeah.
Oh my lord, people, don't be like, hey, I like what you're doing there. Mind if I just hop in?
Yoink. Yeah.
Don't.
Come on. That's
So-
to a certain extent where you gotta be like, you have to
You
have
think-
at least a little bit of respect for everything that's going on around.
Do you think
you
at
know
first
what I
they're
mean?
like, man, this might be a good like tourism activity, you get some more extra business, you're at the gas station and everything else, and then it was like, I hate these people. Why are
Yeah.
they here? I don't. Why?
At first it's just like, business, and then
Oh,
it's like,
business.
wait,
And now
no.
it's like, no, please, just leave. We don't want you here. And I feel like that's
Pretty
fair.
much.
Yeah, that'll be the stupid story roundup for this week. A little bit of a short week for that. There weren't too many great stories that involved things that were a little obscene, so I didn't want to show those off. But as always, I browse the Florida Man Reddit and the Not the Onion Reddit to get these stories to you. But argument. Don't make me, people. All right, Dad.
Kid, no, no.
No, Eisen. No, Shiny gets it. Shinny. gonna call him Shiny until the day I die.
I don't know. I'm just gonna call you Shiny. So like, your new name is Shiny. Okay, that's
Sorry about that.
now. But also, you're gonna literally like in chat, Aizen is me. Shiny is Abs. Just gonna say that there.
So go on to Hot Games. All right.
I can't tell you how much I was thinking about making like singing the song, and then Abs would have been singing the exact same response. That right there. Just a whole disappointing.
Let me just.
Can't do that though, because he's got power over my face right now, literally.
Sipping on the anger. All right.
Sipping on the anger. All right, angry boy.
Angry boys are out. Lines are drawn. Cheers. Cheers, Shiny. All right. So next up is Hot Games for this week. Okay. So, if anyone's been around basically anywhere, you've heard of Dauntless. Launched a week back, has been in beta for who knows how long.
Quite a daunting game to talk about sometimes, huh?
All right, I will hunt you down.
Please.
All right, so after the first 24 hours out of beta, Dauntless added 500,000 new players in its first 24 hours of beta. Out of beta, wow. I said that twice because I'm a bot. So, Dauntless is, if anybody does not know, a hit game that has just come out that has a whole lot of following, but very little actual people covering it on Twitch. What's poppin'? What's up, Bang? But it is a Monster Hunter-esque free-to-play game in which you hunt monsters, as you do, with varied weapon types, and has a bit more of a fun sort of style rather than the realistic of Monster Hunter. Along with being the free outlet for it means that there are microtransactions and everything else you can do, but it's purely for cosmetics. I have been swinging with this game for the past, like, half a week, maybe a week at most since it came out. And I really liked it. Because we're going to talk a little bit more of this. We were considering showing it off, in fact, until Fluffy, you know, had that happen. So, we're kind of... We were going to do a whole spotlight on this and show you a little bit of the gameplay before, you know, everything went down the way it did today. So I'm just going to give you a brief summary of, like, what it's like to play. So there seems to be, like, maybe 4 phases to a hunt. The first phase is tracking it down. Simply one of your members tries to track it down, flag it, and then you actually get to the combat. The combat's very strange in the fact that each weapon has a definite sort of strength, but those strengths aren't all equal. And they have a little bit of a balancing issue with that right now, because the guns, I think, do the highest damage right now for most builds, and the hammers are only used for stunning, and they're not really good for anything else. And besides that, it's just not great for other things, because they don't quite meet the standards.
The thing is, they do have their own bonuses and everything, each weapon does. But, like, the thing is, probably the one with the least amount of bonus
Pike
is the axe.
Really? Because Pike
you can get, like... Pike, you can do some really good interruptions with it.
What's that? Why use a hammer when you can use a gun? There is Aizen.
You know what I mean? It can be a very precise deal whenever you're using the Pike. You can use it to exactly counter something. The axe, don't get me wrong, I use the axe. I love the axe. You know how much I love that thing.
He literally walked into the game the first time you were playing it and said, "Oh, I want to feel like Kratos," and then, you know, use the axe. And I was like, "That's exactly fair enough."
The ultimate in the game for Kratos is, like, you know,
for Kratos,
the axe for Kratos for the axe is throwing it and then going up and slamming it down. And you get another one where you just throw it and it bounces back. I like the second one because it does much more damage. But the thing is, the bonus to the axe is you do a lot of burst damage whenever you finally get your, like, energy level charged up in it.
Energy levels built up through fighting monsters in the game, just over time within the individual segments.
The longer a fight lasts, stronger your axe gets. It caps out.
But also stronger the monster gets, so you have to balance it out a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. It is basically Monster Hunter.
Oh, please don't disconnect.
Biscuit, but, like, same time, it's not really Monster. Am I botting out?
You were for a second. I am crossing my fingers.
Okay.
So hard right now.
I'm literally watching my ping like a hawk right now, dude.
Man, we are on our toes this episode, chat. Sorry for a little bit on edge. All right.
We actually are. Like, it's... Guys, before when we were trying to prep, you'd take an hour to prep for the info pit and everything. During prep time, I think I DC'd 8 times from TeamSpeak.
Oh, it was more than that, because you reconnected at random intervals.
Like, I literally could not even launch Discord at a certain point.
It was
like,
great.
It's bad.
So, we were a little bit on edge today. I'm sorry about that, chat. Hope you do not take too much offense to it. We're just a little bit scattered. But we're going to do a little bit on Dauntless. I think we might come back to it again next week, and as long as I'm still enjoying it, because I want to show it off if it continues to be as good as it has felt. But we're not going to be able to do it justice simply because it is a hunting game. It is about the experience you have while actually hunting the beast and figuring out their weak points, figuring out what type you need to sort of face up against in order to get the best advantages in your hunt. It is a hunting game with large monsters. If that's not appealing to you, I understand. But at the same time, I love those type of things. So we will be probably showing it off next week if we get the chance to. But hopefully we can do it then. We just can't do it justice here. Because we had an entire bit planned for it. And then it didn't work.
And we couldn't do it. But it is such an amazing game. It really, really is. I absolutely love it. And honestly, each one of the weapons and everything has its own sort of like microplay that you can run with it. And it's actually just a fucking ton of fun. It really is.
Yep, great. You used your card.
I did. I used my card. That's my one F card.
That's his F card. Alright. Next up. Ooh, Aizen. I had issues today and just on my TeamSpeak trying to connect to the server 50 times. That is tough, my bud. That is very tough. Can't say that we don't relate, though. Well, so, next up. I don't. Well, actually, I do, because it happens. I have issues like that, too, once in a while. Just joined doing Zeke. Amazing so far. Awesome to hear, Ashes of Life. Hope you do enjoy your stay. Alright. So, next up is going to be... That is the wrong link. That is the wrong link. A leave card I don't normally do this. No, you don't. I get two.
I have like a leave
I get two.
Is the thing. Because, like, I may disconnect at any time. So.
All right. So. Next up is I'm not continuing this conversation. You'll get another one. So next up is Splitgate is like Portal but a competitive shooter. So do you like Halo? Yeah. Do you like Portal? Yeah. Well, this game is definitely gonna be for you. Then this is Splitgate, the Portal style Halo game, or Halo style Portal game, depending on how you look at it. This is not from the developer of either Portal, nor is it the developer of Halo, but it is the aesthetics and art style of both. You what? Exactly. So, this is Splitgate, the competitive action shooter seen from... No, it's right there. The game is pitched as Halo Portal. I just lost the... I just lost the developer's name. Wow.
1074 games.
1074 games. There we go. 1074 games. A indie studio that has been launching this game recently, and I have seen a bit of gameplay for it. So, how it works is that you are basically put into the classic team deathmatch red versus blue of Halo. Very similar guns, very similar art style, with a sci-fi mix coming in with your normal tactical plays. You know, the nitty-gritty of whatever a competitive shooter is nowadays. 2 to 18 people shooting each other. You know the deal. But what this differs itself, that's frozen skeptic look on Fluffy Godfrey's. Yeah.
That's just a straight up picture at this point. My everything's so stuffed today that it's just
where we're at. But where this differs is that we have 2 portals that you can place for each individual player at different points of the map, outlined by, if I can get this image to load, highlight this for you guys. Blop. Bop. There we go. Highlighted by here, you can see that it has these surfaces, this blue and white surfaces. Those are portal surfaces in which you can use to travel around the map from point to point, either to get objective points or find an advantage to the map. There's so many interactions you can do with this map that I can't show you once again because, you know, things are happening, annoyingly. So I don't want to risk everything, and I can't get Fluffy to view this too well. But on these surfaces, you can do everything from switch your X and Y axis by doing portal-specific placements, to throwing grenades through them to bombard your enemies from unknown angles. It's a tactical shooter brought into the thinking, puzzly aspects of Portal, and I personally love the concept. Have you had a chance to look at this very much, Fluffy?
Not really, no. It does look really interesting, though, and honestly, it's by an indie game, or a indie developer, and it is available. Does it cost anything right now for being available and everything?
Yep. But this article from Polygon, I think, best summarizes it in that there's nothing like the Apex Legends slide or ping wheel or the carefully designed Overwatch character animations. It almost feels unfair to judge Splitgate. Oh, you gonna let me finish?
Sorry.
It almost feels unfair to judge Splitgate based on these comparisons to big budget games from AAA studios, like sitting at Thanksgiving dinner and having my mom ask me when I'm going to be like my cousin who just got a promising job in the legal field. Splitgate is the first game from a small studio, and so it falls short in the little quality of life aspects I've come to expect from my usual fare of shooter titles. Basically saying it doesn't have all the nice little quality of life things like the proper menus or everything being fixed just right yet, but it's from a small studio and it has a lovely idea. If you want to check this out, please do so. Once again, this is Splitgate from 1074 Games. Check it out. It's so interesting. What were you gonna say?
It looks. See, the thing is like they say that it's a lot like Quake, and I see the kind of comparison and everything because the picture of the screenshots and everything, it feels like Quake, don't you think? Like it feels a lot like Quake just looking at it, like the vibe you get from it.
I get more of a Halo vibe.
It's kind of odd. You get more of a
like
Halo
totally.
Vibe? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why I get like a Quake feel.
I think if you
Halo,
look at like the
Halo
red
was,
pictures.
Like, one of my games as a kid too. I actually
F,
played.
F indeed.
Yeah, I actually played competitive Halo like semi-professionally. I was decent. I was pretty decent at Halo. Not great by no means. I had a squad that basically just destroyed.
You transfer to C3 now?
You can actually.
Maybe
yeah.
soon.
You need to do it like today or tomorrow though, if you're gonna do it.
All right. I'll put in that DTR, I guess.
All right. But yeah, it just like it looks interesting. I hope they get everything done they need to. It's like the game that we talked about a little bit ago when it comes to indie developers, Pine. Talked about it maybe 2-3 episodes ago.
And then it I didn't hear anything about it ever again. And that's where we're at. Yeah.
Well, no, we haven't talked about Pine since then. They're releasing their game this year.
Yeah, I know, but I haven't heard any development news since then.
They've been working on minor things. They have a server that I'm actually in on Discord.
Oh, nice. But yeah, once again, if you like the idea...
They haven't even popped out that much news. They're just talking about, like... here, I'll show you the announcements.
We'll talk about this real quick.
May 3rd.
Okay, this is going to be me on my pedestal, but that's this show for me a lot of the time, especially when you talk about EA. Yeah. Cough, cough! Anyways, but it is important to remember that these small indie studios don't have the AAA backing. If you like the idea of a game, if you can just put that infinitesimal amount of trust into it, you can try to put a little bit more backing. Start just looking for the news, looking for the Discords, looking for all that sort of stuff. It helps out a lot. Even if you can't pay for the game or back them, just spread the news about ideas you like to try to get these games published because they're not AAA. And we all know that we've been disappointed by a lot by AAA, even just recently, even within the past few months on certain games. I can't. I literally can't. I can't. No, Anthem. Anyways. Ha! It was a joke. But it's important to remember to support these yeah, Sif. Honestly, dude, I'm so sorry. Still, feel bad for you.
I really wanted that game to be so bad.
I did too. But it's important to back these smaller companies that don't have your sort of already voted in trust simply because they're going to bring something new and new interesting ideas like crossing games, like Halo and Portal, to create these fun new varieties. So I do recommend looking into it if you can. Just it's gonna take like 2 minutes maybe. You just look up a couple news articles and boost its popularity even just a little bit, guys. But it's very important if you even enjoy ideas like that. Last day I played.
And everything. One of the things and again, this is the reason I like to talk about Pine so much. One is I'm extremely excited for the game. Is if you want to, honestly, something I would recommend doing if you're interested in looking up and supporting indie game developers and trying to possibly, you know, just go into the scene of indie games and figure out who's trying to do what kind of ideas with indie game developers and indie games themselves, is download Kickstarter or go on Kickstarter.com or I think it's .com. I don't know. They might have a different like dot whatever. But go on Kickstarter's website. Go on indie game. What is it? Indie game something?
I don't know. I don't use Kickstarter.
There's something else that's just like Kickstarter. It's called indie game or indie something, and you can go on there as well, and like you can look at things and projects people are doing, and they're trying to Kickstart, GoFund, that kind of thing. They're trying to get money for it, so you can go there and look up there, and there's always perks to getting something from them. With these guys, I think I pledged like $50 to help them and everything, which is more than what the game will cost, and I was well aware of that. But I also get like a couple extra little neat things from the game, like I get a replica of the main character's sword, the starting sword in the game. It's really cool once it actually comes in, And I got it just because I was like, do I really care about the sword? No, not that much. But like, what's the real reason? Well, I want to help them.
Yep.
And they have options all the way from like, literally you could just help them by paying like $5. And if you paid $5, you got a game that'll be $20 when it comes out.
Yeah,
So it's like, yeah.
if you like the idea of a
You
game,
even get a deal.
think about it. We're not saying
I
you
mean, there's
should
also-
or that you have
Yeah, I'm
to.
not saying you
We're just
should, you have
saying
to.
that if you're interested in that stuff, that's how you do it. And we are personally interested in that kind of stuff here, so just saying.
This is the best example I have because there was a guy who pledged $1,000 to the game to help them develop it and everything.
Wow.
And he got a special reward for doing so much. They're literally putting a quest line in the game based on a statue of him. Like, in the game, they're putting a statue of him in there, or whatever avatar he wants it designed like. So if, like, he has, like, me, I'd probably do it of, my little character I have, my, PFP I have. But, see, that's the thing, is if you have that, then, he's in the game, literally, and the quest line is all about him and what he decides. Like, that's really cool. Also, $1,000 though, US dollars, that is.
Hey,
so
good. So good. Let's join the Hall of the Gods.
For 6
Welcome to the Hall
months.
of Gods.
So nice.
All right.
That,
Yeah. We'll step off our little soapbox area now because I don't want to hear about it anymore, to be honest. So next up is something that's not exactly indie, nor is it anything new. And yes, we've seen it 1,000 times, but this time they actually added something interesting. Yes, of course, if you did not already guess by now, this is the FNAF VR newest release. Five Nights at Freddy's VR Help Wanted. Hey, what?
This is the thing. This is the thing about this, okay? We've talked about, quote-unquote, FNAF a little bit on stream before.
Yeah.
We almost immediately decided this isn't what we want to do.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about FNAF.
And then this came out, and I was like, well, have to break my rule.
And that's horrifying.
No, that's horrifying. You can't see the screen right now, but that's horrifying.
No, I'm looking at the article. Looking at the first picture on the article.
I'm looking at the video and showing that off for stream. But, slight warning right now. If you're aware of bright flashes, please look away. But this is the VR version of every single Five Nights at Freddy's game, plus a couple new ones. Why? Because somebody's a sadist. I'm not watching that. All right, rewind again real quick. But just read a little bit from the article. Where was it? Anyway, Five Nights at Freddy's VR Help Wanted feels like the ultimate remaster. All the paranoid camera-watching gameplay you know and love from the original feels like it was meant for VR. While the standard PC release had you pointing and clicking your way through various camera feeds, Help Wanted has you physically pushing buttons and manually throwing levers, and nervously turning your head as you keep an eye out for any mechanical enemies. Basically, in summary, what that actually means is that now instead of simply observing the games of FNAF, you are actually in them. Meaning that you cry like a little baby when they actually come at you, and I laugh at you. Haha. So I love it.
It's more than likely going to be that I'm playing this and he's making fun of
it. And I'm making fun of him. Incessantly. Aha! Skip, hard skip? Yeah. Honestly, I admit, when I was younger, I used to watch the Five Nights at Freddy's videos from like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, and I would go to the YouTube like comment sections, and there'd always be some guy or some girl or whatever who had written out like all the jump scare times to warn. And I was like, I'm just gonna look for this. There it is. Thanks. We're not gonna watch that part, or just skip forward a few seconds. So definitely a shiny. I get you. I'm not like that anymore because I kind of like it. Don't know why. I like seeing them cry at the point. I don't know. I'm a bad person, maybe. Who knows?
Pretty toxic. Yeah, actually.
I'm one of those people that gain literally no entertainment value out of being scared. Feeling lazy today. Someone link me the event, please. Oof. I don't have it open either. But if you're interested in that, what I like about this though is that we're instead of having the point and click adventure that was Five Nights at Freddy, which is why it wasn't scary to me for a lot of the time after I realized, it's a game, is that it was such a point and click adventure that it wasn't that interesting to watch per se, and I couldn't quite get invested into it. But where this fixes that is that you truly feel like you're gonna get the pants scared off you, because holy lord, you are right there, and that thing is big. That is a big boy. Gah!
Not gonna lie, I've watched some videos on this just because I was interested. I wanted to see at least what it looked like a little bit. So you're thinking of like, alright, yeah, FNAF. Who are you gonna watch for FNAF when it comes to the Five Nights at Freddy's? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
King of FNAF, if you haven't heard.
Yeah, so like, all right, cool. Let's watch like one video of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not. This is not one of those times where I say I watch one video and then I watch like 20. No, I watched one, and that's terrifying.
And then he cried like a little baby.
Legitimately, like, actually scary. Because the thing is, like watching it through the protection of my screen is nice. However, if you were to imagine yourself in that scenario, where like, you know, instead of in the original FNAF game, just the very first one,
You just sat there.
you know, yeah, you just sit there and you click the buttons to like light up the doorway and everything.
Which
And
rooms
in game,
disconnect?
it was like you'd click the doorway and it'd go like, it'd have this big like noise, and then they'd be standing there and you just close the door. No panic, you're good. If you're in VR, instead of, you know, and there are actually some changes in game they've made to by the way, Abs, to make it seem scary.
Oh yeah, definitely.
In person. Whereas,
In
like,
fact,
instead
there's
of
one that I would love to highlight real quick if you would.
Instead of the animatronics just
Okay.
teleporting everywhere,
They move.
they actually walk. Yeah. So like, it like walks up beside you, and you can hear it and see it, and that is probably one of the scariest things ever if you've got like a good headset, because it sounds real.
And here's my favorite part. Here's my absolute favorite part. Because not only do they move, and you can see them move, it looks so convincing for VR right now. Because not only is this a good VR game, this is a VR game with all the backing money-wise for a VR game right now to actually make it look very realistic while you're inside of it. So you're looking at a texture that looks like it might be real for your brain, your little monkey or lizard brain up there saying, "Oh Lord, please no." And I love it. It's fascinating.
Incredible. Yeah.
But even if you can't get the game, even if you don't have a VR headset, watch at least a little bit of it. I don't care if you skip the scares. If you want to see what a game that has been transformed into a VR experience, not just game port, but an actual VR experience is supposed to look like, they actually did it right. Check it out. It's amazing. Okay.
I died from a heart attack at age 16. I'm good. Yeah, I mean, like, I feel that way too.
Let's just go running more.
You know
fine.
what? Entertainment value.
You
If I
just drop me.
stream it, then we get something out of it.
You're streaming with internet.
That's facts. I might have to wait like 30 years before I get to do that.
Alright, so that is going to be it for that, though. We're going to stop talking everyone's ear off about a game that really no one likes anymore. And start talking about a game that no one hates yet.
I'm sure there are plenty of people that like it. But,
Oh, no, there are. I mean, I'm one of them. Kind of. I like the new one. That's interesting.
Yeah.
There's a lot of game design flaws in the old ones, but that's fine.
Ooh.
But next up, we have what I so like to call Void Bastards. And that is the title. Do not flag me. FPS new FPS FTL roguelike. That's right, FPS twice. So, this is a roguelike that is built to be both sort of a mirror, or not built that way, but can be akin to a mirror of both the FTL experience mixed with the roguelike values of a typical FPS. So what does that actually mean? That means you are in first person raiding ships to try to find supplies for you and your ship in order to survive your cross across the galaxy with threats constantly on your back as you try to simply survive in any means necessary. Burping. Lord. Why you simply try to survive. If you're not already interested, let me show you a video real quick. So, this is the Humble Bundle page for this. If you
Not sponsored, by the way.
Not sponsored. Please, us getting sponsors. This show getting sponsored more quickly. DI getting sponsors is not anything new. But it is also has this wonderful semi-Duke Nukem Wolfenstein sort of style behind it. And actually, let me play a little bit of sound here. I had it muted for playing ads. But from the developers of Bioshock 2.
I'm looking to you for a paradigm shift towards
This is the trailer from it. But with so many guns, set your own goals. Try to get from each point to each point. You have the space interaction, which you have to do game decision makings in order to make sure you survive and your ship can keep on going. Full control over things like ship bays and everything else, all the doorways, all that. Collection of food and other resources to make sure you can keep flying on.
This video is really nice.
It does. Very good editing. This is from the official launch trailer. Not the official launch, the official Humble Bundle trailer.
Yeah.
Action items ticked.
But what are those games? Sorry, distractions. No. Anyways, as you can see there, it has a very unique sort of take on the Duke Nukem 2D to 3D, or 2.5D, I guess. It's what I heard someone call it that once or twice, and I'm like, I guess that works. Sort of style for its layering and animations that make it very both endearing, interesting to look at, along with being incredibly, unexpectedly gory for what's such a cartoonish style later on. Did you actually get to check this one out? I haven't asked that a lot this week.
It actually did. I actually did. Something that it kind of reminds me when it comes to its, like you said, the cartoony style and everything. It kind of reminds me of Borderlands.
Yeah, I got that feel too.
It's not quite as Borderlands stylized, because Borderlands has its very, very own style.
Yeah, but it's the colors and everything else, like the way they did, like the colors integrating to like the actual violence of it.
Yeah, it's the layering and everything like that. If you're like this, City of Brass is free on Epic at the moment. More lucky than just kind of. Oh man, what's the GOG? You know?
I don't know what GOG is at all, but I can check right quick since we were talking about this.
Yep. I won't be able to do too much looking up during the info dump, by the way, because
No, it's okay. I do it anyways normally. Smile.
I mean, hey, I look up quite a bit.
Let me see right now. So on the store for the Epic Games, since we brought up Epic Games right quick, right now, City of Brass and Kingdom's New Lands. Kingdom's New Lands is actually a really kind of interesting. It'll be free in June 6th through 13th. But City of Brass will be open till June 6th. So that is 5 days away. And on June 6th, Kingdom's New Lands will also be free, which is a bit of a game we might cover next week, since it might be free and I might have gotten actually to play it a little bit more. But it's a very interesting game, but I can't quite think how to describe it yet. But we might come back to it if I do end up playing it, because it is free. And I like free things. If you don't like free things, man, talk to me. I want to figure out why. Alright, so I think that'll be it for Hot Games of this week, unless you have a little bit more to say about Void Bastards. I don't like that title, honestly. It doesn't flow off the tongue. Oh.
I like it.
Bless you.
Oh.
Bless you. Ooh. Bless you. If no one remembers the chat, whatever, Fluffy has technical difficulties, or I'm having trouble hearing him through TeamSpeak, I say bless you to try to indicate it. And hopefully it doesn't disconnect him. On our toes, chat. On our toes. Fluffy, you there?
Yeah.
Okay, we stabilized, Captain.
I'm back
All right.
down to normal-ish things.
Nice. Did you ever get the event tool active?
Yeah, I got it.
All right.
It's going.
So, that'll be it for this week's Hot Games, though. Do hope everyone enjoyed those looks into some new releases and old, well, semi-old, it's a week old. That's a long time for the internet. If no one's guessed that by now. Internet's extremely accelerated. But that'll be it for this week. Next, we have tech news for this week. And I actually had to find these because things went wrong. But I did find a couple interesting things, except one of them no longer is there. Wait, no, I found it. We're good. Ooh, we're good. Alright, so first up is a bit of a disappointment, if you really want to say that. And I guess I did. So I did. But Northrop's Northrop Grumman's new rocket suffers small explosion during first big ignition test. And when they say small explosion, let me just open this GIF for you. Here we go. Small explosion, by the way. Just, yeah, that. All that debris. Very small. Very, very small, by the way.
Well, I mean, it's small compared to the fact that that entire thing is, you know, a rocket. It could have, you know...
You can't convince me that any explosion, when you say the word rocket, is gonna be a small.
Well, that's small comparatively, okay? What it could have been.
What you're saying is it could still destroy the bank door. Okay.
I mean, yeah, but
But as you saw there, that was a bit of a big one, an oofer, if you will. But Northrop Grumman's tongue. Decide what you're going to pronounce it as. I don't want to. We'll do it. All right. So Northrop Grumman's first big test of its future Omega rocket, Omega lol, seems to have ended in a small explosion. Today, the company fired up the main engine on the rocket during a ground test in Utah. Towards the end of the test, parts of the vehicle's engine burst apart, sending pieces of hardware flying. Today's test is what's known as a static fire, when the engine of the rocket is ignited while the vehicle is held firmly to the ground. Northrop Grumman was conducting the very first static fire test of the Omega's first stage, the main body of the rocket, with the primary engine attached to the end. The first stage was ignited horizontally at Northrop Grumman's test facility in Promontory, Utah. That's a word. With the goal of testing out all of the rocket systems as one function unit. So, just as a reminder, no, we don't have it 100% down. We may never have it 100% down, but man, it's still pretty cool. Did you actually link the article?
no.
Okay, I'll get it. Stop. Get this so you guys can actually see something.
Me too.
For this and for the.
Boy. Yeah.
We're spamming our own chat. Ban me. Do it. Ban me. Okay. But no, we don't have. We talked about in the entire past few weeks. We've talked about all the strides we've made, all the different rocket things that we've had that looked so great and have been such a great appeal to science, and how we're doing things so effectively now. And I just wanted to remind us of that.
We literally talked about a plane.
We're talking about space right now.
Yeah, I know, but we talked about a plane that would be used to carry rockets to be able to launch out of the stratosphere instead of the troposphere down here.
So, just as a reminder, we have a lot of cool things going. We don't have it 100% down. That's why it's so slow.
Somehow, though.
It's a little bit. Just as a small reminder, no, we're not quite there yet. But it is pretty cool, because it later mentions, as reading the English agent, the engine was tailing off. We observed the exit cone and maybe a portion of it doing something a little strange that we need to go further look into. Kent Rominger, a former astronaut and Northrop Grumman's vice president, because they love that name, and capture lead for Omega Launch System, said during a press conference after the firing. So it's not even that we don't know what maybe could have happened, it's just that these things kind of happen. It's why we test these things. So in the midst of all the, oh my god, this is so cool, yeah, it is, but it requires a lot of testing, and that's why this is so slow. So if you're wondering, why does it take so long to do these things when we're having so many successes? Because not everything's like success in these. I hate to say it, but things like that happen. It's why we test things. So, little reminder not to rush progress. But next up is on a very different note than space travel. I'm going to link this one. We have Nreal's AR sunglasses cost $4.99 and should ship in limited quantities this year. Now, this is the Nreal AR sunglasses. That's right, sunglasses, because apparently Google Glasses said nah to having normal ones. At least that's what I think. But that's completely baseless. Don't worry about it. But to show off of what these actually do.
That's his whole show, by the way. Completely baseless, but it's alright.
You didn't use that correctly, but okay.
I don't know.
Anyways. So this is actual footage from the AR apparatus that is in question, these sunglasses, the Nreal Light as they called. But this is live footage from the AR interactions and seeing what they can do to surfaces around you. This is, once again, as a reminder, simply sunglasses doing this.
What video are you looking at?
I'm looking at the video that I had linked on the sheet.
Oh, yeah.
Look at all this. Look at all this. Sunglasses, by the way. But these are the Nreal AR sunglasses. Nreal's augmented reality glasses, which impressed us at the CES back in January, will cost a surprisingly low $4.99. Have AR and look at like a dork with impaired vision. Yes. And are supposed to start shipping this year. The Nreal light glasses plug into a Snapdragon 855 powered smartphone over USB-C, and Nreal promises at this week's Augmented World Expo they'll be available to consumers in limited quantities later this year, then shipped in mass market quantities next year. A $1,200 kit for developers will include the glasses, a controller, and a dedicated computing pack that can substitute for a phone. The Nreal light glasses offer an experience that's somewhere between a heads-up display and a full-fledged high-end mixed reality, while looking sort of, not completely, like normal glasses. You can use them to watch videos on virtual screens, but also to place virtual objects in the real world and look around them. So we talked about for the past couple of weeks, but can I see it? Dad, your eyes are more screwed up than even I think. Where I was going with this? Where was I going with this? I forgot where I was going with that. Your eyes are very screwed up, so I don't think so. It is a reminder these are projecting onto the lenses themselves and should not be worried for glasses corrections, as I doubt they will work very much so as part of why they are tinted so heavily. But imagine this in normal glasses or a Vegeta-themed visor. Alright. Imagine this in Vegeta-themed visor got me. I have very mixed emotions, because we were just talking, you just mentioned how have an AR and look like a dork with impaired vision. Now you're just going to look like you have a permanent casual cosplay going on. The most shameful of cosplays, just like screaming magic is the most shameful of magics, simply because A, it works, but you know. But imagine having that and just being like, your power level says you're weak.
No.
Anyways, AFT Jackal, what's his rep level? What's his rep level? Oof, that is
If AFT
that's
is
massive.
watching this one, doubt it, because you know
They didn't. Who watches our shows?
No,
What?
both away at the moment, really.
I don't
So,
think they'd watch. Anyways,
AFT's usually on. He's in chat. Like,
More
every
Jackal.
episode.
more Jackal.
No, AFT's usually in chat. Watch him like literally pop up in chat and be like, yeah.
I don't doubt AFT. I doubt Jackal. I don't think Jackal would waste his time on this show.
I mean, Jackal's been here quite a bit, so you know.
But anyways, yeah.
No,
just
not anymore.
But to stress how cool this is, people, because we were talking for the past couple weeks, we've mentioned it a few times. The
You're talking about the HoloLens. And
HoloLens. There we go. HoloLens.
We're talking the Microsoft glasses, the one that we talked about, were turned industrial, and the HoloLens one that you could play Minecraft on.
We're more talking about the HoloLens one in this case,
Yeah.
but the HoloLens was the
But, I mean,
very
both of
expensive
them are
one.
AR goggles, glasses, kind of a mixture.
But this is more compact, seems to be more cost efficient, does seem to have a little bit more sort of restrictions per se on what they can actually do from those animations. But to be able to have that video screen and everything else as you go and still be able to wear them as normal sunglasses, I just want to say we're going the right direction, people. Like,
Agreed. Maybe
come
the
on,
style is a
we are
little-
going the right direction here.
The style is a little questionable.
Honestly, if I get them in like black shades instead of those red ones that they show on the screen here, let me just flip it over for you guys. Instead of those red ones, sold. No, actually, I could never afford these, but you know, metaphorically sold.
These are like $400.
500.
500. Jeez.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, we're going the right. But we're going the right direction with this AR stuff, people. If the more we can interact with it in a more common way or more accessible way from the common life, I love it. I am behind this, people. Please look into these things, because this is pretty neat. Not to mention, it also talks about the... excuse me, where was it? Yeah. Augmented World Expo. We're going to be probably talking about a little more things from that coming next week when more information is actually openly discussed on more reliable sites so that we can get information on it. But we'll probably talk more about that next week, about the prospects of AR and VR and all that sort of mumbo jumbo that always seems to switch around in my head. Which one's which? AR is the one that lets you augment reality. VR is one that lets you interact with a non-real reality.
Yep. Alright,
Yep.
so something I want to clarify just for everybody as well is, something about, like, the news and everything we talk about. We don't talk about news. It's like, you were gonna hear it here, you're gonna hear it here first, you know, that kind of thing. Some stuff you may hear from us first before anybody else. Maybe just because I was behind on articles and had to go grab some. And I literally ended up grabbing some from that day that happened
Every week.
like minutes ago. It happens, okay?
Every
And
week.
then maybe also we talk about something that happened like at the very beginning of the week, because it's like something maybe we left over from last episode, something like that. We are not a source for like brand new news.
Heck, I wish I was. I would have a lot more certifications.
Yeah. Ooh, we do have
Actual money.
you know, a good amount of like, I mean, we do talk about stuff that's weekly, so I mean, I guess it's at least relevant at the time that we're talking about it. Go back to episode 1, everything we were talking about then just isn't relevant anymore. And that was only like a couple months ago.
Sorry, I was folding paper. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next. That is it for the tech roundup for this week. I do hope you guys look into those AR, VR, blah stuff. They're quite interesting. Next up, though, we're gonna have a little bit of a movie roundup with a couple different bites of movie news coming out. One of them, kind of cool. The other one, why? But we're gonna start off with the semi-cool one, at least. This is Disney's. Let me copy this over. Are you gonna do it? Are you gonna do it? You're hovering over it.
I got it. I got
You already got it? You got it? Okay. 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 Okay.
I got it. Hey, can you
But-
read it for me?
Heck you. Heck you, bud. Alright. Disney releases new Lion King character posters, and they're so realistic looking, it's spooky. Alright, so, we're not going to talk about this for too long, because there's this entire debate within a lot of forums over whether or not it's good that they're making it more live action, or that if they just can't meet the same representation, artistic visual design that the original had, simply because the restrictions we have due to being in a more realistic style, not allowing for character and emotions to be expressed quite as properly. But we're not going to get into that, because I don't feel like it. But we are going to talk about, however, how cool these effects actually freaking look. Because if you haven't seen these, you're in for a treat, guys.
Yeah.
So we're just going to go through the entire cast lineup. We got this, of course, from GameSpot. Did an article on this recently, and that's where we're pulling these files from. But James Earl Jones is Mufasa. That's not a picture of a lion, folks. That's their animation. Next up, Scar. Second verse, same as the first. That's Asian. What? What? Also, can I just point out the Scar? I don't care if that is animated or not. That's freaking awesome. Right there, it's freaking awesome. I love it. Next up, we have little Sarabi. Little Sarabi, the main heroine. Look at her. That's an adorable lion. Next up, we have Zazu, which looks freaking creepy, if I am being honest.
Terrifying. Yeah.
Because, man, that's not a fun bird. Look at that. Look at that nose thing. A mabob protrusion.
That's a fin.
That's a fin. That's a shark fin waiting to happen. Just saying. Next we have Rafiki. Rafiki looks so cool. Like, even just the animal he's based on, the baboon?
Yes,
I
it's a
think. There we go. But it looks cool.
Yeah,
And then they actually did small little... You can actually see some of the artistic choices where, like, the blue snout being more colorized and stuff like that on this one. Because it's more of a recognizable animal than just, oh, it's a lion. But John Canny... Where's that? John Oliver. I just noticed we have 2 Johns in this. John Canny and John Oliver. I couldn't tell you either of their faces from their names, but just saying that's there. It's a conspiracy, actually. There's going to do the Chris's of the Disney Cinematic Universe. It's going to be the Chris's of the Marvel Universe, but John's. It's less good. No offense to John's. But you have Rafiki, which looks freaking awesome. Then you have Simba, which is just downright cute. Look at that. Chat, look at it. Look at it. Look at him. Look at him. Yeah, you got little ears, you got little tuft ears. Cute. Next we have Nala. Also very cute. Who is the other main heroine. Because the animated film also focused on the mother's struggle. Anyways, then we got grown-up Simba with 2 little cool marks right here. I don't know what causes those, but they look really nice. They're like little eyebrow beads. I like it. and then once again Nala. And just as a reminder, once again, all animated, by the way. These are not real lions.
Nah, dude. I think they trained lions how to do this.
Pumbaa's
They trained them
terrifying.
to act and everything.
You caught up on Pumbaa? Cause that's
I
get strong Lord of the Flies vibes from that.
Oh no.
Because that's all I can see when I see pig heads now is Lord of the Flies. Cause public school ruined me, I guess. That looks realistic. Right! Right! It's, oh my gosh, guys. Just look at these. The bone! Look at that!
Bone is
Look
adorable.
at that! I'm just saying, chat, you have to appreciate it. There's a thing about it, you know, it's not real animation anymore. They're doing CGI for everything. It's ruining the emotion. It's ruining the art. Okay, if you feel that way, awesome. You know what? That's good for you. But look at the technical means that brought us to this, and just appreciate how awesome it is they were able to do each of those individual hairs in rendering. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That's so stinking cute. Looks delicious. Yes. What?
Who's playing? Who plays Mufasa in this one?
That's at the beginning of the list. Give me a second. It's gonna be. Oh no. All right, chat. I'm gonna do us all a favor. Rather than butcher this name, we're just gonna do it this way. Yeah, these are. I don't think that one's Scar and the new Lion King. Because this says a weird. I think it's so. It says something different on. Wait. Yeah, Mufasa is played by James Earl Jones. Yeah.
Yeah,
James Earl Jones.
Mufasa.
And the Scar is someone I haven't heard about.
The original Scar was Jeremy Irons.
Well, this one is Nope. We are gonna.
Oh wait, I can.
Hey Google. With an R at the end. That's the new Scar. I wouldn't say that if I were you.
Nope. I have no idea, dude. That's like, hey, if you end up watching this, sorry for butchering their name.
Sorry, if you discover our show, our very, very small talk show here, what I hope you enjoy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Do you know him?
Zuno him? What?
I'm not sure, even if.
I am Confucius.
Donald Glover's gonna be adult. Yeah, it says.
Bless you. Mordo on Doctor Strange? Wait, really? Is that who that is? Oh.
Really?
I don't know his name. That's pretty cool.
Okay. Let's see. Seth Rogen was Pumbaa. Billy Eichner taking on the role of Timon. Beyonce is playing Nala. Okay.
That's his name.
So,
okay. I didn't know that actor's name. Now I do. Good spot, Shiny.
Okay, yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. It's like, like...
Anyway, but if you haven't seen those renders, it's so cool. Speaking of cool movies, we're going to talk more about this in the info dump, because I want to, but I want to see the new Godzilla. I'm going to talk about something that the critics did, that I didn't get an article up time for, but there's something the critics did and then something that the fans did that were completely in contrast to each other, but were quite interesting. But we're going to move on from that, and instead we're going to talk about something that made me just a little bit disappointed, but also hopefully a new redemption for somebody, I guess. But the next Batman, Robert Pattinson wins the role. So, I think you got the wrong type of bat. I think you got the wrong type of bat.
I'm like, maybe he's gonna do well, okay?
Just saying. And here's the no, Shiny. Good job. I believe in you. It's my favorite.
But like, maybe he's gonna do well.
Shiny's my favorite of the day. Sorry, guys.
Yay.
Maybe he's gonna do great. Do I expect him to? No. Could he? Yeah, he could. Prove me wrong.
He's gonna do wonderful. Yeah,
But you're not gonna. I will say, I personally, and this is completely biased, I will not be able to differentiate between Batman and me making jokes in my head about Edward from Twilight. It's not gonna stop, which is really sad because he hates the Twilight movies.
So like,
did you know that?
They're both edgy.
Did you know that he actually hates Twilight movies? Like, Robert
He what?
Pattinson vehemently hates the Twilight movies.
Yeah. No, I know.
Like,
I
he
know.
is the biggest critic of the Twilight movies because he hated them so much. The only reason that he was still in those movies is because he was under contract. He wanted to leave. It was so sad. But I won't be able to differentiate between it. And I feel so bad. Because he's actually a pretty good actor. He's been on a lot of indie films recently. And he's done freaking fantastic in some of his roles. But I can't help but see and make fun of Edward from Twilight. And I'm so sorry. It's sad.
He beat out Nicholas Hoult for the position.
He's been in some great films since Twilight. I haven't seen Twilight though, so I don't really have that problem. Don't watch it. Yep, that's my statement.
I
think I saw. I'm gonna save you. Don't watch it.
Completely biased. Disclaimer here. Completely biased opinion from me.
Ben Affleck was
you weren't
mixed.
Said I wasn't getting
results.
comfortable with Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck wasn't good.
He wasn't that. To be fair, he was
like,
the Justice
maybe
League series, and it wasn't.
Yeah, that's fine.
I feel like, okay. Here's my defense for Ben Affleck because I can see I didn't like the Ben Affleck Batman, but if I could speak, I didn't like the Ben Affleck Batman for like 2 reasons. Number 1, his face under the mask looked weird, but I think that was a costuming error.
Yeah,
and number 2, the writing for it was really bad.
So this is the thing.
Like the character interaction Batman felt so
he
faked.
beat for the guy he beat for the position.
Didn't have plans to.
What was his full name? Nicholas Hoult.
Good job.
Played Beast or Hank McCoy from the X-Men series.
Wait, that was him.
That was him. Yeah, that's
really.
That's the guy.
Hold up.
That's the guy that Robert Pattinson beat for the Batman role.
Let me show, just to give reference for
and he
people.
also,
Let me get an image for him.
Let's see. He was also cast as Nux in the new Mad Max Fury Road. Believe that's the newest one. Nux
we actually have a side by side right here. Here's the 2 contenders, by the way.
Okay, wait. Nux is like, yeah, those are the 2 contenders. I mean, okay, let's be fair. Batman's supposed to be like a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
There you go.
She just can't be, you know. He has been a vampire like 4 different times that I can remember.
That is true. He has been. So, I'll send you this one. This is so. I know you know who Beast is. I doubt you know who Nux is from Mad Max, because even though I was a fan of
I didn't watch Mad Max at all.
Okay, I liked Mad Max. I didn't know who Nux was, but that right there is the granted the Wikipedia page for Nux. This is also a person played by Nicholas Hoult. A member of Morgan Joe's army of war boys, lives in the settlement known as the Citadel, but later allies himself with Max, long name, also long name. After feeling responsible for the death of Agarhar. Yeah, so there you go.
There's a lot of reading.
So yeah, but so basically, like, that's what he looks like in that movie. He's played a lot of like darker roles. Then you know what I mean? Obviously, Beast isn't a darker role. Hank McCoy or Beast is one of honestly my favorite X-Men. But yeah, so there you go.
Yeah, I just want to one more time because I have something to say about this. I just want to point out something. His eyes look soulless in this picture. Let's look at that. He looks like he's a Terminator. That's kind of scary, like, honestly. At least he looks like he's slightly alive. He looks extremely, like, bored and disgruntled, which I feel like is, you know, more representative of Batman, to be fair.
Batman's basically a martial arts fighter with the intimidation as his main weapon, and I can't see him in that role. Yeah, I can agree with that. The thing is with Holt, I could possibly see him in that role, just because again, you can't see him in that role.
Here's the thing, because he just doesn't look like a Batman to me. To be fair though, neither of them look like a Batman to me. Neither of them look like a Batman.
What does Batman look like? The animated
he looks like. Here's what Batman looked like in the. This was the archetype of Batman: handsome rich boy by day, able to go into a mask of Mars per se during the night, which is a complete warlike face, able to break between the two instantly. I haven't seen the full scope of either, I will admit, but to me that doesn't look like either, and maybe it's just unfortunate.
Agreed. But
picking his nose.
Yeah.
I'm 5.
DC
But I'm just
is intending
saying.
to make a trilogy of Batman movies with Pattinson in the lead. An official announcement is expected soon.
My uncle was actually talking to me about this yesterday, or not yesterday,
Yep.
Thursday. And he said something to me that got me really just kind of laughing at this. Because what he said to me was, man, Disney or Marvel must have planted someone in here to ruin all this. Because there's been so many questionable decisions involving both Batman, specifically, and the DC universe is late. They had to plant someone. Let's go ahead and draw if it would fit in the cow.
Fit the cow. Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
Like,
I guess that's Robert Pattinson.
he is supposed to have a.
I look
very,
more like a Batman. Oof. I don't know about the Rip. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Nice try though.
Nice try.
Yeah,
You had good try.
good try. But see, the thing is, it's like Batman. If I think of Batman, I'm thinking of like the animated series. Obviously, the animated series in any like show is supposed to show what that like hero is supposed to really look like, right?
Batman or Man Bat. Okay, when you put it like that, I don't want to point out because that reminds me of something. He is Man Bat. That is Batman. If you want to look at it that way.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go. There's our answer to our dilemma.
Yeah.
He is Man Bat. He is Batman.
He does have the square jaw for it and everything.
He
Batman's
does.
supposed to have a very like.
Swear to, he's like
strong
very like
jawline.
strong, very
Yeah,
intimidating.
that is a very strong jawline. So.
But I just can't see anything else but Edward from Twilight, and it's my bad. But I just want to make that known that it's all I can freaking see.
Like,
all I can see.
Acting, also kind of just a cursed role.
Oh yeah, totally.
At this point, like yeah, it's just not
all the Batman like never found really good work again.
Whereas having the position of Joker has been pretty.
They just killed themselves. No, no, it has not at all. Yeah, just look up the history of the Joker and psychotic breakdowns. Article, by the way. Anyways, they just need to make a Batman Beyond movie. That's my favorite Batman series. I can agree with that. There's actually quite a few. There's at least two of them that I know about.
Go to Young Batman, please. Like
Batman Beyond. Can we talk about old Batman Beyond? We really do have other articles to talk about. Like 5 other ones we need to get through today.
Let's go to Batman.
But here's the thing, Batman. Case in point. All right, so Batman Beyond. It was one of the first like darker series I watched as a kid that actually had real issues in it instead of oh no. That's it. But man,
I thought that was really good somewhere.
No, it was literally just oh no, there's a problem. Looks like it's solved. You know, those kind of shows, those kid shows,
Superman.
versus like, Superman versus Batman, where it's like, the entire city's messed up. We need an avenging here, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But like, it was one of my first series that was actually like that, and a little bit more, cough adult, I guess. Was, if you remember the Batman Beyond series, was it shown during a kid's showtime? I feel like it was.
I'm pretty sure it was.
But looking back on it,
there's no way
no.
as a kid.
No.
Without it being shown in a kid's showtime, you know what I mean?
There is so many references to things that wouldn't like not fly at all. Drugs, prostitution, sex clubs, a lot of things. Psychotic breakdowns due to, lack of issues and everything else. And it was like, oh, okay, okay, we can't show this on Kids Show anymore. But okay, unless they like 4 kids like censor it where they replace everything. If anyone's ever seen, look up 4 Kids censoring, like 4 Kids, the TV network. It's hilarious. That was just story flavor. Yeah, Dad, I know, because you showed it to me. Can we see Reviews channel? What's the channel? Lord, I can't remember if they've censored things as much as they probably, did for 4 Kids, but there was a lot of episodes in that show. If you go back and watch it now, where you're like, oh Lord, okay. But yeah, anyways, for Batman Beyond, man, I want to see a Batman Beyond movie because I love the character of Terry. Terry was a great character. He was a great protagonist in general. They also did a really kind of shruggy ending for it, if you remember. Can I spoil this? It's like what, 10 years old now? One second. When did Batman Beyond come out? Batman Beyond was 1999. Final episode was in 2001. So it's been 18 years. Can I spoil this? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I can. I'm gonna do it. Okay. So at the end of Batman Beyond, cover your ears for the next 30 seconds if you don't want to hear it. Spoiler warning. So then in Batman Beyond, it turns out that Terry was a clone of Bruce and was thereby his surrogate son. So Terry got the father that he wanted since his father's own death. And then the series continued with him recuperating, becoming the next Batman in fruition, and learning all the lessons that he needed to, and that was just the end. He actually had a relationship too. Weird. Batman don't normally get those. But it was really good. It's just kind of like, okay, I guess that's where it ended. But it left it at a certain place where you could still have a bunch more like exposition on the series and have them still interacting. So I'm just saying, no one would be mad. I don't think anybody would be mad. Okay, I spoiled the end of Batman Beyond. If you didn't see that, then whatever.
I saw it. I even told
okay.
You, yeah, it's fine. Like if they haven't seen it in 18 years. Like...
It's in 18 years. I'm out of that zone. It's been over 10 years. 10 years, by the way, is the spoiler zone. 10 years.
Are you sure? 10 years?
Yeah. Are you saying that if I spoiled the Rogue One, people would not be mad?
How? That's been what, 4 or 5 years?
Yeah. People will still get mad about it. No, they still get mad about it.
Yeah, people are probably gonna still be mad about spoiling
10
Batman
years.
Beyond as well.
I didn't. I'm crushed. That's a lie, Father.
Star Wars. If I go and spoil Star Wars, they're gonna be upset. Like literally, the very first movie that came out.
No, it's been over 10 years.
4, right?
It's been over 10. Yeah, no, it's been over 10 years. So far over 10 years. That's been like 30. When did the first Star Wars come out? Let me look it up.
Oh wait, yeah.
First Star Wars out. Let's see. Google load. 1977. So it's been like 40 years. Yeah, 42 years. My math's right. May not be. I'm not in calculus AB right now. But it's been like 42 years. So yeah, no one's gonna be mad at that. Like no one's gonna be mad at that. No one cares anymore. You haven't seen it. You haven't seen it. It's your fault. That's how the internet views it. So no one's mad.
Yeah.
Still open for a non-cartoon Red Hood movie? I didn't like the Red Hood movie. It was hectic. That's what it was.
How about something from the Red Hood that's not a cameo in a video game or a shitty movie? Please.
A really good Red Hood comic going on for a while.
Red Hood? I
really
know,
cool.
but like, you know, like animated something.
But like
you know
actually
what I mean?
something made
Red
and
Hood...
produced to be visually taken in along with audio at the same time.
Yeah, Red Hood was really cool. Is really cool. But he had a cameo, quote unquote cameo, in a big like revealing moment in the Arkham the very last installment of the Arkham Batman series.
Wait.
And
oh yes, okay.
Yeah, and he had that.
I thought you
that
meant
was
like
really well done. That was
I
really
thought you meant the
good,
TV show Gotham for a second, and I was very confused.
No.
I'm like,
No, he had
what?
a cameo. Didn't he have a cameo in that?
Yeah, he did. No,
yeah,
he was actually a villain in the last Arkham game.
Okay. No, he wasn't technically a villain though.
You fought against him. And he was trying to kill people. And he tried to kill people.
Look, alright, look, sometimes good guys do bad things.
Alright, he's an anti-hero. He's not, he's kind of
a bad guy.
Alright, calm down, Ralph.
Yeah.
You order bonus. Oof. But yeah. Anyways, I have to do the E3 roundup still for this, there's a lot to go over in this article. I kind of want to just link it and say, hey, E3 is going to be coming out.
Honestly,
I'd be lazy, though. I'd be really lazy, though.
He looks confused.
He always looks confused.
That's literally the point of the picture, Chili.
So, cause I have to do it. Because it's our job. Here we go! This is going to be the E3 roundup for this year's E3. E3, for anyone who does not know, is a giant gaming expo / news center where all the companies play a contest of who has the biggest budget. Yep. Yeah, Chili, join the Hall of the Gods.
Bop.
What did you say to me? What'd you say to me? Bop! Okay. Nice. Anyways. But this year at E3 Roundup, we have from June 11th to June 13th in LA is the next E3 2019 Expo. If you've not heard of this, if you've not heard of E3, where have you been? Honestly. Like, really. One of the biggest announcements / news roundups in the entire world for gaming. In case you didn't know. Binds on pickup, you know it. So, officially the 2019 Electronic Entertainment Expo, E3 2019. Well, actually, I'll go ahead and read this on screen so that you guys can see it. So nice. Officially 2019 Electronic Entertainment Expo, E3, because it's 3 E's. Big brain. 2019 will begin on Thursday, June 11th, and end on Tuesday, June 11th, and end on Thursday, June 13th. Those dates, however, are just for the portion of the show held inside the LA Convention Center. In reality, the first big event of E3 2019 is the EA Play Kickoff event that's slated for Friday, June 7th at the Hollywood Palladium. Did I say that right? I don't know. While EA has told us not to expect a keynote speech, that Friday afternoon is the first time we'll be able to play the publisher's upcoming titles, as well as get some info about games coming out in the next 2 years or so. Between EA Play on Friday and the opening of the show floor on Tuesday morning, you can also expect a press event from Microsoft sometime on Sunday afternoon, with a chance of Bethesda, Square Enix, Ubisoft, and Nintendo announcing a keynote later. Keynotes are highlights and or big projects that they may be working on at the time, and you want to be paying attention to lingo that you don't need to worry about. We expect to be in LA from Friday until Thursday, and gamers with an entry pass should try to do the same. I just spit a little bit. Don't know if anyone saw that. I'm sorry. But drink some water. By the way, Fluffy is disconnected for a second. You may be back now? Is he back now?
No, I'm back.
Okay. Okay. Don't ever say it again.
It's all good.
Okay.
I say what I want.
So, I say what I say. Rip E3 on G4, rip G4, honestly. I think that's more of a rip G4. But keynote time, the EA Play livestream event kicks off at 9:15 PST. And ticketed fans are welcome to join EA Play at the Hollywood Palladium, yep, on Saturday, June 8th. Said that word. EA has an early lead going into 2019 with its planning already detailed on the publisher's website. To that end, EA says it will be hosting its annual EA Play event on June 8th with free tickets to be distributed shortly. So pretty cool. That's the big roundup for them. They have a couple of releases, such as elsewhere inside enemies will be announced the next version of Madden, FIFA, NHL, and NBA Live, and another advancement for Sims, because they will beat that cash horse till it's dead, and man, it won't die. Next up, we have Monday, June 10th at 6 p.m. PT. These are the keynote times. It's not all the things we listed, but we're just going to highlight these. After the long-awaited release of Kingdom Hearts 3 in early January, Square Enix has been fairly quiet. But that looks like that's going to change at E3. Thanks to a tweet posted to the Marvel Avengers Twitter in late May, we know we're going to see Crystal Dynamics game at the show, as well as a Final Fantasy VII remake, which recently had a key spot during Sony's last State of Play event. That is an event to play where they play a little bit of a game to show off any new projects they've been working on. It was a full HD remake / rendering of the Kingdom Hearts Final Fantasy VII game in a modern graphics engine along with everything else. So if you're interested in that, look into it. Also Dragon Quest Builders and Dragon Quest 6, 8, no, it's not 6, 11. Roman numerals, I should be used to them by now. Along with DLC for Kingdom Hearts maybe, and Life is Strange 2. Just Cause 4 and Oninaki. Next up is the Sunday, June 9th at 1 p.m. PST, 4 p.m. EST, and 9 p.m. BST. Because I apparently had to put all three there for some reason. Microsoft at E3 2019.
Yeah, they gotta make it easier for everybody.
They didn't on the other ones.
Who don't like
They didn't on the other ones. They only did two.
Okay, that's true.
I'm just saying.
That's true.
Consistency is a fly. Okay, there's a fly. Sorry. Back to the focus. As of right now, Microsoft is the only one of the big three consoles makers that's definitely going to E3 2019. That means it's the only one that has officially announced that it will be attending the festival. I call it a festival, it's more of a news release once again. That gives Microsoft a bit of an advantage if it decides to debut its next-gen Xbox codename Project Scarlet, because we need another Xbox apparently. No, we don't. And it might be the reason why Sony is avoiding the show altogether. While we're still not sure exactly what Microsoft is going to show us in terms of hardware, we're likely to hear more about xCloud, Microsoft's new game streaming service, and news updates to its Xbox Game Pass subscription service, which has grown immensely in the last 12 months. Blah, blah, blah. Less likely, Microsoft could have demos for HoloLens 2, Halo 5 Guardians, but that's on, not likely. Also, maybe a new Forza title. If you play Forza, there you go. Bethesda. We can dream, boys. We can dream of that Elder Scrolls 6. Okay, we can dream about that life.
They announced Elder Scrolls 6. But
Yeah,
it's just
they've
not
announced it before and been like,
here.
maybe it's a thing. So yeah. Regardless of Sony's plan, we now know that Bethesda will be holding a showcase event at E3 2019, close in time to last year's event. To that end, you can expect to hear more about the developer publisher titles starting on Sunday, June 9th, 2019 at 5:30 p.m. So what can we expect to see? It's almost as given that we'll hear updates for legacy titles like Elder Scrolls Online and Fallout 76, two of the developer's largest MMOs to date, as well as the previously Doom Eternal for partner ID Software. Still surprised they didn't completely ban Fallout 76 after it was such a trash fire. But you know. In between bombshell announcements, we're also likely to hear more about Bethesda's free-to-play and mobile offerings like Elder Scrolls Blades, which I didn't know was a thing, which is due out later this year, and the Elder Scrolls Legends, a free-to-play card game that is in the same vein as Hearthstone, because every company needs a Hearthstone apparently. Unfortunately, those of us expecting to see new trailers for the next hotly anticipated entry in the Elder Scrolls series, Elder Scrolls 6, and Bethesda's ambitious sci-fi project Starfield, are going to be disappointed. Bethesda Game Studios executive producer Todd Howard told a room full of attendees at PAX East that it's still too early to talk about the games and asked everyone to please be patient. Basically, they still don't have it. They just still don't have it.
But like we've been patient for years.
We have 4 more of these to go. God. I want you to know that I'm doing this for all of you.
No, it's like I'm so like I just want this game to, you know, come out already.
All right. Got my next round of water. Let's talk about Ubisoft. Monday, June 10th, 2019 at 1 p.m. PT, 4 p.m. ET, and 9 p.m. UK. Ubisoft will definitely be back at this year's E3. The developer/publishing house has a lot on its plate for early 2019, including Tom Delancey's The Division 2, as well as the Trials Rising, both of which came out in the February-March window, but hasn't said what's coming later this year. The game we know the most about from Ubisoft that would likely be at this year's show is Skull and Bones, the ship-focused combat game that looks to carry the torch from Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Ubisoft has yet to give us a solid release date for the game, but it's likely the sort of thing it's saving for at E3 2019 keynote. Skyrim Remastered X2. You forgot the Extreme at the end of that. It's also likely we'll hear more about Beyond Good and Evil 2 and potentially get our first look at the gameplay at Ubisoft's keynote. But that could just be wishful thinking on our part. Everything else can conjecture. Alright, PC Gaming Show at E3 2019. Because apparently we need one. Monday, June 10th, 2019 at...
Heck yeah, brother.
I put it at Extreme there, though. At 10 a.m. PT, 1 p.m. ET, and 5 p.m. UK. If you're a PC gamer, and if you're watching this show, you most likely are, you won't want to miss the PC Gaming Show, which will make its 5th consecutive return to the convention. Our music's slightly down. It's hard to focus on this. We're not sure what to expect from the hour event, but it's anything like previous years. It will feature a number of indie games that wouldn't usually get time up on the big stage alongside hardware announcements. For folks at home, this event will be available to stream on twitch.tv/PCGamer, or on Facebook or YouTube. And the rest of it doesn't really matter. Next up, though, we have Nintendo at E3 2019, Tuesday, June 11th, 2019 at 9 a.m. PT, 12 p.m. ET. While Sony won't be at this year's event, Nintendo most certainly will. First digitally in a Nintendo Direct that usually airs Tuesdays mornings, and then physically when its massive booth takes over West Hall. In terms of what games Nintendo is going to bring this year, the company says we'll hear more about Pokemon Sword and Shield. POG! As that's due out by the end of 2019, plus the Link's Awakening remake and Mario Maker 2. All games I'm looking forward to. This is probably going to be the only one I actually watch, because I don't care about the rest of them. I'll be honest. You have a lot of re-releases. At least these are new games. I've been watching Fluffy Suspicious Fate for 1.5 hours. It's time to spice it up. Look, man, I got other images. We're gonna show it off during the info dump, so we're almost there. I promise. We're hoping we'll also hear more about Animal Crossing on Nintendo Switch, which was announced in 2018 and given a 2019 launch window. But there's no guarantee from Nintendo that we'll watch Tom Nook at this year's show. Beyond the core games, we also know Nintendo's developing Luigi's Mansion 3, which is a pretty cool, you know, pass the time sort of game, and Fire Emblem 3 Heroes, the latter of which should be available in August unless it's delayed. Other stuff is going to be, yeah. Alright, keynote confirmed, but to be determined. Devolver Digital will be there, Devolver Digital, Gungeon, titles like that. A lot of other releases that we talked about last week. Look into it if you want to. Last but certainly, we couldn't leave out Devolver Digital, who has confirmed via tweet that it would be posting another off-the-wall pre-recorded keynote, which may or may not involve fictional CEO Nina Strutters.
Abs, you should
Man.
Isaac
Get the other
says,
image.
he's been watching
Get the other image.
my suspicious
Get
face.
the other image, because I have another image, guys. I have a certain image that I would love to show. Great! Also, use 2 of your cards. That's you're getting a foul.
I'm sorry.
Foul. 10-yard line. Full back.
10-yard line. Oh god, I'm almost in the safety area, dude.
Yeah, and then you screwed it up.
Then,
But
yeah,
chat, don't worry. I anticipated that you guys would get bored of watching his face.
I gave him more than one. I gave him more than one picture. You could use like one with my hair messed up or something.
Man, you're
It's
right.
still scuffed.
I could. But guess which one I already have loaded up?
No, please.
Well, we have this one. What do we think, chat? First, we have the bot emote that I personally use for a channel, which is a picture of him edited to look like slightly more of a bot. Let me go ahead and move this a little bit so you guys can see it. There's that. There's also, if we really want to have some fun, we go over here, click hide in this one. Go here, click hide. We also have this one, which was edited by a good friend of ours and watcher of the show, Ion. It's like an R-rated games presentation. I hope so. Devolver has some of my favorite sort of standalone pieces when it comes to gaming, so I do hope they have a very good release this year, and I hope they actually do something that's unexpected, because I'll be honest, they've been coming out with A- games recently, but they're really cool still. I just want something new. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, there's our other image for Fluffy. Take it or leave it, chat. Do we go back to the bot one, or do we use that one? What do you think? Decide. You have full control here.
Please, chat.
Are we merciful? Dude, over here. There we go. Quick switch. There you go. There's a new image of Fluffy for you guys to look at. We'll give it a little bit of spice of life variety. Alright, but on to the next...
Load so I can see what picture you're using.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Awful.
Don't worry about it. It can't be anything too
see,
bad, right?
Smile.
Smile.
It can be.
But, moving on to our next industry news, we have a new release from Vermintide 2's Wind of Magic DLC, which is coming in August.
Vermintide 2, I haven't heard anything on that game in a while.
I know, I absolutely loved it when they came out, and then it kind of died because the end game was bad. Because there wasn't anything more to do.
Yep.
But, Vermintide 2 will be adding its in-game DLC, Winds of Magic, this August. The expansion adds... Oh, you go ahead and read this off. Yeah, there's no weird ads on this one. I have to be careful, chat, because I get weird ads, because I look up those weird articles to entertain you guys every week. So we do have to be careful sometimes. But, we'll be adding its in-game DLC Winds of Magic this August. The expansion adds new enemies, not energies, and challenges, and it will become available after an open beta, which you can sign up for now. Winds of Magic starts the brutal beastmen, who appear in the Reichland seeking to secure a meteor and claim it as a herdstone, which the beastmen in Warhammer use in order to make themselves even angrier and fightier. That would be bad news, and so our heroes have to reach the meteor first and prevent it from falling into enemy hands, or hooves. Winds of Magic will raise Vermintide 2's current level cap, and each hero will get a brand new weapon. Sienna is getting a flaming flail, for example, while Kruber will be able to wield a heavy spear. The new mode, Winds of Magic, is a series of challenges that increase in difficulty as time goes on, set in the weaves of the Winds of Magic. Basically, it'll be a new arena fighter mode, which is absolutely key in games like those, because it's absolute fun to play with your friends. So I'd recommend it. If you enjoy those type of, sort of Left 4 Dead type of games. So, we're talking about Batman earlier, but Fluffy, when was the last time you heard of the guy playing Superman last?
Do what?
So let me ask you something. Who played Superman last? Who do you know? Who played Superman last?
I can't remember the dude's name.
All right, look up
It's a pretty good Superman.
Man of Steel.
Yeah, it's the Man of Steel Superman.
So, just give you one guess on the name.
Don't remember.
All right, well, you don't have to wonder because it's Henry Cavill, who is now going to be the
Cavill.
next Witcher. Filming is wrapped for Netflix's upcoming Witcher series, according to social media posts by its main actor and showrunner. Both also hinted that there could be more seasons in store, but stopped well short of confirming that notion. Henry Cavill, the, used to be Superman, is playing the titular Geralt of Rivia. Posted a photo to Instagram Thursday that showed him sitting in his makeup chair with two makeup artists arranging a bald cap on his head as he peers over the top edge of his mobile phone. Season 1 of The Witcher has finally come to an end, he wrote in caption, and although I'm pulling a face here, it has been an incredible journey. That's right. Your comic books got into our games. Hog. So, Superman will now be the next Witcher, and I am fine with this. You know what? Might as well, am I right? It's interesting enough to pique my interest. You there? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. I
Okay.
just it didn't do good.
All right. But Henry Cavill, who is the last Man of Steel and the Superman within the Justice League series, will now be playing Geralt in a Netflix series adaptation. Make your jokes or defenses now. Not the worst casting choice. Cough, Pattinson, cough. Honestly. Anyways, I'm just trying to think of we'll talk about the info dump. I have more stuff I want to say about that. We need to move on. Because why? Because we have a show to run. I know, it's terrible. It's horrible. How could we do such a thing? How can we dare have a show? Oh, God. So pretentious. But next up is a little bit of, honestly, it's creepy. We have a creepy release from Nintendo. That 10 out of 10 service I was talking about last week. Make Superman the new Batman far better than the Sparkle Vamp. Oof, guys. Oof. We are laying into him, apparently. But don't worry, we're going to system shock you guys with a little bit of a weird news coming out from Nintendo. Pokemon Sleep is a new app to make sleeping entertaining. Several sources were consulted on this. So, as part of the 2019 Pokemon press conference on Tuesday night, a wacky-sounding new Pokemon app called Pokemon Sleep was announced. Seriously, alongside the reveal of a new mobile game called Pokemon Masters, the Pokemon Company and Nintendo revealed they are working together to try to turn sleep into entertainment. Pokemon Sleep is launching in 2020, and the Pokemon Company joked that several Snorlax were consulted on this. Pokemon Sleep aims to turn sleeping into entertainment by having a player's time spent sleeping and the time they wake up affect the gameplay, reads a line from the app's official description. In the notes for this show, I titled this article, "They See You When You're Sleeping. They Know When You're Awake." It's no longer Santa Claus, It's a company. Think about it. I'm just saying it's a little weird. And don't get me wrong, there's some cool stuff, like the new Pokemon Go++. Nintendo is also working on a new peripheral called the Pokemon Go++. Not a typo. That is actually the name they're going with. I'm sure it sounds better in Japanese. That is actually its name. The idea is that you'll sleep with the new peripheral and it'll monitor your sleep patterns, apparently. The device has an embedded accelerometer that can track how you sleep and then beam it into your phone.
My phone actually used to track how long I slept.
What the heck? It's different if it's a health app versus, a company is
Yeah.
trying to sell you things.
Yeah, I get that. But like the thing is, yeah, past kids not getting enough sleep, future kids getting too much sleep. I'm sleep and only learn new language and chase Japanese.
Big Brother is watching, which means Google. Yep.
Yeah, we're doing
We
but yeah,
sleep.
no,
I don't
so
want to
the
learn
thing
a
is-
new language or chase Japanese franchise.
No, yeah, my phone
Yeah.
used to track it, and it was just part of my it was the
I'm
Samsung
just-
Health app, which again helped out, but still.
And one of the worst part, this is actually a really good business decision for Nintendo. And I hate it, because it's incredibly creepy, and I feel very,
Yeah.
very creeped out by it. But hey, it makes a sort of sense. I hate to admit it. I hate to say it, but it does. Because we already, because if we look at it this way, chat. What do they have control over right now? From a typical Pokemon hype, like, let's just call them Pokemon fanatics. You know, it's a class in their game. Type of enemy that you can run into in their games, or trainers, enemies, all the same thing. But Pokemon fanatics, you have them on their phone, you have them on your device that you're selling to them, you now have them in their own homes, you now have control of where they're going to go with stops. Honestly, they're courting the market in human value. It makes great business sense. It's also horrifying. Just to put that all in a little perspective. And why? What's their gain? Sleep data, microtransactions for better dreams? Honestly, I might spring for the latter. That doesn't sound too bad. I hate to say that, but it doesn't sound too bad. Microtransactions for better dreams. I don't know.
Actually, you know what? I like that.
I feel like that's a different kind of service, like, entirely. But that's not, you know what? I'm with that.
That's definitely
I'm okay with that.
Like, yeah, 100% good at that.
But no, honestly, it's just Nintendo has access to everything else, so why not this? It makes perfect sense from a business side. It's simply a continuation of what they previously had built upon, but man, is that just horrible for an individual person. Just saying. Have your own opinions on it? I just look at that and be like, man, Big Brother is watching. 1984. I hate it. But it's still a cool thing. And who knows? Maybe by next year I'll be like, oh man, I love Pokemon Sleep. Probably not, but I might. Who knows? I'm still a consumer just like you guys. Alright, so we're going to skip past that though, because I don't want to think about that anymore. And we're going to go to the Xbox Game Pass coming to PC. This is the normal Xbox Game Pass that you'd normally have. Oh, wait. It's like that band on Spotify that told their fans to play their own song, Literally No Sons, while they sleep. And after a month, they got $1 million or so in Ashes of Life. If you can find an article about that, whisper it to me on Twitch. I want to see about that. And I'll even put myself in chat so you can do this.
Oh, I'm back.
I want to see that. I want to... Can you find me an article about that? I don't know what band you're talking about, but that sounds incredibly interesting.
Yeah.
Well, rather than the input up. But this is the Xbox Game Pass. This is the normal Xbox Pass, now meant to cover and convert to PC that allow the Xbox games to be accessible from there, along with Microsoft's new binge for you people and for me. So, go ahead and switch over here. Microsoft is bringing its Xbox Game Pass subscription service, which offers access to a vast library of games for a monthly fee to Windows. Turn this up slightly now. Fee to Windows instead of console games. However, Xbox Game Pass for PC will offer a curated library of over 100 high-quality PC games on Windows 10, Microsoft announced Thursday. A statement from Phil Spencer, Executive Vice President of Gaming at Microsoft, called Xbox Game Pass for PC a new experience that we are building together with the PC community. Microsoft says that its list of more than 100 PC games will come from publishers like Bethesda Softwares, Deep Silver, Devolver Digital, Paradox Interactive, and Sega. And just as we commented on the console, it is our intent to include new games from Xbox Game Studio and Xbox Games Pass for PC the same day as their global release, including titles from newly acquired studios like Obsidian and Xile. Yes?
You just gave my first commander ammunition against me with that fucking picture. I know,
oh, yeah.
3 cards. I'm sorry. That one was needed. How dare you? Also, I haven't been able to see the picture yet until somebody else screenshot it.
Where do I send it? Where do you what? Where do you send it? Just whisper me. Right click or just click my name on Twitch and then hit whisper. I think that still works. Yeah, that still works. Just click my name and hit whisper. And I'll see it. But, where was that? Spencer said, we're working with the other 75 developers and publishers to bring PC content to the service and will ensure the library remains curated and full of great PC titles across a variety of genres, with the new games added every month. Xbox Game Pass for PC subscribers will also get a discount on games and downloadable content via the Microsoft Store on Windows, up to 20% on games currently in the library, and up to 10% off related games, DLC, and add-ons. The company did not announce a launch date or high pricing for Xbox games for PC. Microsoft said it's planning to share more about Xbox Game Pass for PC at E3 2019 on June 9th. Speed round. Paw. Why do you do this speed round? Because I'd seen stuff on it. But yeah. That is the Xbox Game Pass, and actually will be the last bit of news we have for you guys this week without planning. So now we got info dump. But honestly, check out the Xbox Game Pass. There's some pretty cool games on it. And the Game Pass, as we mentioned before, is just a monthly subscription. You get access to all those games. Do it. Get access to getting all those games in such a way that's better, like that. If you are interested in that, do it. If not, don't. It's as simple as that.
For a second, I'll be right back. I'm actually gonna go grab a drink. That way we can do the info dump like easily. I'm at like it's actually burning in here. I need a drink.
That is tough. Sent. I do not see it. Are you sure you sent it to the right person? I don't see a whisper, bud. Here, let me do it this way. Ashes, let me whisper you right quick. Put it on there. That should work. Alright, so a little bit more about the Ben Affleck thing. Or not Ben Affleck thing. Robert Pattinson. Batflick just popped in my head for some reason. Verge. Oh, this? Let me see this right quick. So, Spotify removed silent album that earned indie band $20,000. This is real? This is real? Are you kidding me? Alright, chat, you get to read this with me real quick. This is something I haven't read before, so let's see how well I can do this. Spotify has spent years battling perception that it skimps on royalties. On average, the company pays out 0.007 each time an artist's song is streamed by its millions of users. In March, one Michigan-based band set out to defy odds and bring it enough money to fund an upcoming tour. And they took a brilliant approach in getting there. Wolfpack's latest album, Sleepify, is a completely silent recording composed of tracks that are each a half-minute in length. Users must listen to a song for at least 30 seconds before Spotify counts it as a proper play. Upon its release last month, the band asked fans to stream Sleepify continuously at night as they slept, hoping the coordinated effort could morph Spotify's less than a cent royalty rate into something lucrative. And it actually worked. According to Vice, Wolfpack earned about $20,000 in royalties from the album. Those profits will be used to fund the band's next tour, which will be free to attend and mapped around areas that stream Sleepify the most. But now that clever stunt has been cut short. Spotify has asked Wolfpack to remove the album, claiming that it violates the company's terms of content. I wonder what it doesn't work with. Like, what terms of the contract say they can't do that? That's interesting. Because what rule could they have written to... Basically what I'm asking is, what rule could they have written to expect this and to prevent this? For it to violate the company's terms of content. Headlines claim that Wolfpack has been banned from the service altogether appeared to be unfounded. The band still has other music on Spotify, and that includes a just-uploaded 3-track album titled Official Statement, with a spoken track from keyboardist Jack Stratton that confirms Spotify's request. Reviewing an email he received from the company, Stratton says, the gist of it was while they enjoyed Sleepify and thought it was funny and clever, it violated their terms of content. How does that work? That's... Probably know what I'm doing this. They probably know that I'm putting this on Spotify, he says in a track called #Hurt. Now you're just getting cheeky. So I don't know what's going to happen with it. It's very uncertain at the moment, and it's in light of that uncertainty, the second track of Official Statement is meant to help fans reflect on the situation. You guessed it, 31 seconds of total silence. Wolfpack's original pitch for Sleepify is embedded below.
Yikes.
Let me just go ahead. This is worth sharing with you guys. Just reread this because I read this out. Oh my god, that's cheeky. I love it. I absolutely love it. He beat the system. He made them play his game. Oh, that is great. That is great. Oh, it's terrible. But don't get me wrong. That is horrible. Imagine gaming the system that hard. I know it's like a giant middle finger to like anyone who's actually trying to make it on there and do it legitimately. That's a bit of a slap to the face, if we're being completely fair here. But at the same time, that's so freaking funny. Like, that dude took the Spotify services, made them play his game, and just said, now watch me do it again in C chord, basically.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's amazing.
Oh, bud, you played the game and you won. You played your game and you won. That is... I want this guy in the show. I want to talk to him. Honestly, dude, I want to talk to this guy. Get this guy. I want... Oh, wow. Oh, I'm dead. I'm just dead. Just... My lord, dude, that guy's great. That guy's clever. I forgot I switched to that image, and I was greeted quite happily with that image. I'm so glad I used that. I'm so glad I used that. So glad. Also, who's your first commander? I just need to send them a copy of something. So, you know, unrelated reasons. Well, people exploit all the time. One guy made a list with the top artists and put his own songs in there, and they were listened to in his playlist. That's actually pretty clever. I wouldn't say that's as clever as this, because this is like... You know those, like, little... It's a relatively old meme now. By relatively, I mean it's like a couple months old, you know, with the internet. That's like years. So, internet years ago, there was the small brain, big brain, galaxy brain, universe brain, reality brain. That's like a universe brain compared to the reality brain. Just saying. Like, pretty... They got him. He got them. He got them. Hard. Another round of applause for that guy. Gosh. That was impressive. I forgot what else we were going to talk about on the info dump. Because normally, I was worried about keeping everything up for you guys and trying to make sure everything looked right. Because we were already having having disconnected issues. So, I forgot to actually write down the topics for the info dump as we were saying them. We'd normally write those down so we can go back to them, and I just blanked, chat. I am so sorry. I'm not sure if I look at it, I'll remember eventually. Maybe. No. Wait, I remember. Okay. I remembered. Okay, so Godzilla. Let me get this up real quick. Some of you, actually, a lot of you probably already know about this. Godzilla. But if you followed the Godzilla stuff at all, about the new movie, the King of Monsters, you know that. One second, let me find it real quick. Have to double check that I found the right one. That's the wrong one. Where is it? Here it is. Yeah, look at these. So, this is the Rotten Tomatoes page for Godzilla King of Monsters. If you don't know what Godzilla King of Monsters is, Godzilla King of Monsters is the newest Godzilla movie, where, of course, everything's fighting Godzilla because it's a Godzilla movie. What more do you want? Apparently, the critics made the horrible mistake of thinking that Godzilla was a movie that was supposed to have story and character depth. No. I go to Godzilla, it's because I want to see Godzilla sock Mothra in the face. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to see it soon, and I'm excited, because I love seeing giant monsters take up their fist, or whatever other appendage they have, we won't judge, and socking each other in the face. Because that's just me. But I'm just saying, when you go to a monster movie, that's what you look for. That's what you look forward to. The critics, giving it a 40% on the tomato meter on Rotten Tomatoes, clearly disagreed. Where the comments, critic reviews for Godzilla. So this was the rating of New York Magazine Vulture, David Edelstein. This is an unholy mess. This King's falls distressingly short of the crown. Rob Vo, sci-fi movie page. Why are you watching Godzilla for story? Gojira.
Oh, here's one.
Monster.
Godzilla. This is actually, it says it's a 3 out of 4. Godzilla King of the Monsters doesn't need an original story. Like all kaiju movies, it requires awesome monsters, epic fight scenes, and some subtle social commentary.
Yep. It's great. I loved it. Now, I did mention that it was 40% for the critics. Can you give me a guess? Did you look at it already, Fluffy? The audience rating? Did you look at the audience rating?
Yeah.
Dang it. Okay. I was going to play God's game. Chat, how much do you think it got on... Don't look at the ink if you haven't already. What do you think it does for the audience score? I will give you a hint. It is a large disparage.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
I'll give you about 30 seconds. I'll give you one more hint. It's, you could confuse it with Infinity.
It's like double Infinity, actually. Yeah, sure.
Okay, now you're just giving it away. Why you gotta do this?
Yeah.
Why you gotta do this? 88% audience score on Rotten Tomato. 88% compared to the 40% of the critics. I'm just saying, guys.
So
there's a disconnect in there.
Okay, here's somebody who actually says like somebody give it a 1 out of 5. Oof. Saying an absolute mess and nowhere near enough. Monster action does not give good. Disaster, not fun at all. Makes me long for guys in rubber monster suits awkwardly sparring. At least you could see them.
Okay, if that's your view, I feel like you're looking at something that's a little skewed there. I think there's something else going on with you. Just saying. I am just saying. But for those of us who love things.
And a quasi-lead role for Millie Bobby Brown, King is an anonymous blockbuster that will please no one.
Screw off. Is there giant monsters fighting each other? In new incredible effects from the trailers and everything else I've seen? Yes.
Audience. Let's look at some audience reviews. Visually awesome, has a decent plot. However, the story was kind of too rushed. One of the best Godzilla movies ever. I think these aren't critics.
Here's one. Travis M. Loved it. So glad the action is played more than seeing actors on the side. Travis gets it. Travis gets it.
All right. Avery thoroughly enjoyed it. It is no masterpiece, but it's a movie about giant ancient monsters awakening and fighting. I don't need a masterpiece. I need to be entertained on the edge of my seat, and for that, this movie deserves above and beyond.
I want to see it so bad. I want to see it so bad. Oh.
I'll tell you when the caps stop, okay?
Dude,
I
okay.
I adore this movie. I love all freaking kaiju movies, and despite its flaws, I think it's rather emotional and dope. The monster scenes make me happy. And the nice messages about global warming are nice. Seriously, I loved it. I'm going to see another 7 times, and it's freaking worth it.
Where is it? Here it is.
That's
hey
like
chat, whoever is talking about, I don't see who was talking about this. Where is open image new tab? There it is. Whoever's talking about.
Don't think movies are about the industry topic.
You know what? It is an industry, the movie industry. Bam, got him. Activated my trap card, fool.
Wow, how could you say that to our viewers? Wow.
I'm toxic. All right.
You're toxic. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Thank you for catching that. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. We did. But reverse card.
Oh wow, here's a long one from Dave.
Wait, hold up. I want to show up. Just through the person who said it. Ashes. Just wait for the Godzilla vs King Kong movie. That's why they made a new King Kong. I want to show you something. How's that gonna work? how's that gonna work, bud? This question.
Not.
And that's the 2014, which was reportedly smaller than this one.
Yeah. The kaiju monsters are a little more powerful than Big Monkey Man. Though Kong.
Godzilla versus midget. Nice one, Shiny.
Yes. Here's another. This is a.
Unless they make, if they make King Kong like even bigger, I'd be up for that. I'd be up for that.
Now this is a fan vote. 5-star rating, big thing. As a Godzilla fan, I found this movie rather enjoying. I'm going to try and break this down in terms of a Godzilla movie perspective. The whole movie...
I read something from Ashens. He said steroids. Tons and tons of steroids. Okay, sorry. That was... Uh-oh. Bless you. Bless you alert. Bless you alert, boys. Bless you alert. We have a liftoff from his ping. Maybe Godzilla gets right again and shrinks. Ooh, big monster plays. Big monster plays. Shiny eye. I'm leaving stream. Aww. I should end stream. I have a party to get to, by the way, guys.
TeamSpeak said no.
TeamSpeak did say no. I have a graduation party to get to later. As in, like, it started 30 minutes ago.
Wow.
I should probably end up. We should probably end this soon.
If you guys want to read what I was trying to read, obviously I can't read it, so there it is.
As a Godzilla fan, I found this movie rather enjoying. That grammar. I'm going to try and break this down in terms of Godzilla movie perspective. The movie as a whole is a mindless fun. If you are familiar with any of the older Godzilla movies from the 60s and 70s, this is perfect. A nonsensical plot with overwhelming odds. Add giant monsters into the mix and tying it all together. You have Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Yes! There was extra cheese in the acting, and some of the plot points are a bit confusing. It ends. Fluffy.
Oh, I couldn't cut paste all of it.
Just put it in TeamSpeak and I'll read it out to them.
I
There's the first half of the review, guys. That's the first half of the review.
This is actually cheese. I'll just go.
Also, if you guys are in TeamSpeak, just know that there are people like me who accidentally click on people's names and will see your pictures that you have as your TeamSpeak icons. Just saying. Yes, there's actually an acting, but that's the essential Godzilla experience. If you are going into this film looking for a deep psychological meaning to life, you are not going to find it here. But you are looking for a thrill ride of monsters having at it and destroying stuff. Welcome home. I love this movie, and I plan on seeing it again. By the way, Split and Unbreakable movies now got crossover in the same movie called Glass. I did hear about that. Did you ever watch the original,
We're 2
what was
minutes
his name?
over.
We are. Luckily, I told my friend that I'd be, like, late. So,
No, but, like,
one second. The original Are you talking about the original Unbreakable and the 2000 movie? Yeah. My dad was telling me about that movie, and I was like, wait a second. There's a plot of a new movie like that. And he's like, really? And I told him, like, yeah, it's gonna be this. He's like, oh, hey, cool. So I never watched it. It came out the year I was born.
Yeah.
I mean, both of them. I have heard that both are really good.
It is a psychological thriller that is actually extremely phenomenal, really, really good.
And if you can't find either, just watch the Cinema Sins on both. It actually gives a pretty good story summary.
Actually does. However, the Split is like, it's not a scary movie.
It's a psychological thriller.
It is a psychological thriller, but the thing about that psychological thriller that it is oh my god, you're so like...
New animated Godzilla series movie length on Netflix. Wait, are you talking about the anime style CGI one?
I haven't.
The anime. Are you talking about the? I haven't watched it either. You talking about the anime CGI one? That's toxic. Trying to talk to our viewers.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yes, I haven't, and here's why. It doesn't look like one I'm gonna enjoy. It just looks like Godzilla pwns human butt for like 4 movies. And that's all it looks like, and I'm like, I don't really care to see that. There wasn't even like, I looked at the trailers and I didn't even see a monster punching another monster. What's the point? Humans get destroyed by bigger things. Okay.
I mean, that's the plot of like
everything.
Marvel Cinematic Universe.
True, very true. Shin, so Guy has 24 distinct personalities trying to fight for one that will take over. Yes, coffee. That's a good summary of Split. That's actually a very good summary of Split. Good job. But yeah, no, I haven't watched those. I don't plan on it either because it just doesn't look interesting.
We have to end the episode.
Yeah, you do, but
it's time to say goodbye. I'm not doing the outro this time because I can't even. 2
weeks in a row.
You know, I can't even speak without the sing.
You got out there. That was funny.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if I remember all of them. Do you think I'll remember all of them, chat? Here's a hint. That's why we have him do it. It's because we do it. Because I can do a lot of the stuff. Remembering things on the fly. Not one of them, sadly. Alright, but let's try. Alright, so thank you everybody for coming out today. I do hope you enjoyed our little show, our escapade into the news world. If you did, thank you for coming around. If you didn't, we'll try harder next time, as we always do. But a big thank you to you guys for being around. We could not do the show without you. Without you guys here, we would not be allowed to do the show, I'm pretty sure. So thank you for coming around. It helps out quite a lot. Thank you anybody for chat, who did chat and chat. We enjoyed talking to you very much, and you guys talking to us, of course, livens up the show a lot more than two idiots talking in a room alone. Because we do that too, it's just not as entertaining, I promise. But to everybody, really though, thank you very much. And a big thank you to DI, of course, for having us on their channel, for letting us do the show, and for giving us the resource to have nicer things like panels and all that sort of stuff without us having to learn visual design with a degree. I ain't got time for that. He don't got time for that. He's this way. Sorry, my camera's normally flipped if anyone caught that chat. But it's not today because Discord's weird. But thank you guys so very much. I do hope that I will put in the DTR. I swear to God, coffee. Listening to idiots can be entertaining. Oh, thanks, Luxatic. And you're gonna love us. Or you might already, who knows. But thank you, DI, for giving us a channel and giving us everything we can do to do the show. We really do appreciate it. Am I doing anything else? Did I miss anything? Is it on Fluffy's screen? I will.
It's on Fluffy's screen. Is that which one do you have up right now? Do you have the
Man, I wonder.
the scrutinizing or
I wonder.
the one that Ion made?
Define scrutinizing. So I'm gonna send him both.
Like personality.
So I'm gonna send him both.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's fair. That's okay.
How does
I hate
Absolute
you,
get
but
kicked
it's
from
okay.
DI? It's a toss up in the air. Did I miss anything?
No, I think you actually did good.
Dang! Good job! Okay, now we're done. But thank you, everybody. I really do hope you guys enjoyed the episode today. And until next time, bye! He would wave too, but he can't see you. Bye!
I would wave too. I'm actually.